Hello to my Oshkosh Guitar students and anyone else watching. This video is going to be about how I teach guitar chords. So this is a sheet I give to all of my guitar students when they are ready for it or when they want it. And if you don't have this sheet, I can email you a PDF even if you're not a guitar student. So basically what it is it is diagrams for chords in the key of C. So things to know about my diagrams. Down here is the big string, and I try to illustrate that by having the big string as the thickest line. Then here's the small string up here. This dark line over here is the nut of the guitar, and then these are the frets. So then over here we have the finger numbers, and then the dots are where you place those fingers. So like here would be the first finger on the first fret of the second from the smallest string. And I will warn you that these seem upside down at first, but once you're used to reading like this, it's very practical because it lines up with music notation and tablature really well. And it actually works, once you're used to this, it works really well against the guitar body as well. So fingers, what fret and what string, and then over here is the tone number, or like the tone. So like here we have our root and so on. So major third, a fifth, you don't have to remember any of this. The stuff to pay attention to is the name and the shape. And then after that, the next thing to learn is name, shape, finger numbers. After that would be name, shape, finger numbers, and then where the root is. And that allows you to move these chords around easier. You don't have to remember that right now. So again, the name, the shape, the finger numbers and frets, and then the tones inside like root, third, fifth. And eventually you would also like to learn, so right here you can see, it says that a C major chord, the root is a C, the third is an E, and the fifth is a G. So that stuff helps in the long run, but again, the main thing that you have to learn, absolutely need to learn, is the chord name and the shape. So I'm going to go through this and why I like to teach in keys. So this is beginning in the key of C simply because there's no sharps and flats, so it's an easy one to use. And most of the chords are pretty doable. So to begin with, I like to say, here's what a C major scale sounds like. You do not have to remember any of this to make it work, but it does provide a bit of context. So the C scale goes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. I'm going to say the fret numbers, so I'm doing this on the second string. It's important to know that the first string is the small string, the big string is the sixth string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so second string, first fret, second string, third fret, second string, fifth, sixth, eighth, 10th, 12, and 13. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You do not have to know that in order to practice these chords, but it helps with context. Okay, so how I like to practice these, I'll go through how to practice it first so that you don't have to watch the entire video to get a hold of that information. So start on the first chord in the key. So that would be for the key of C, that's going to be a C chord. Learn the C chord. Play it. Let's see here. So practice it. Pick up your guitar and learn it and practice until you can simply grab your guitar, put your fingers down, and have a C chord. Once you can do that, put your guitar down, pick it up a few minutes later, get to the C chord again. And keep doing that until you can simply pick up your guitar, play a C chord. Once you can do that and it's really comfortable and you feel like you can play a C chord and stay relaxed and reduce the tension in your hand, then learn the next chord in a row is going to be a D minor. Once you can play C, D minor, then learn the E minor and do this in the same way every time. Once you can play D minor and an E minor, then go to the next chord, an F, and so on. So each time you pick up your guitar, you'll go from the beginning all the way through, and it really takes only seconds to play through a lot of chords. And we want to be able to hear C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so I'm going to run through these quickly. Again, that's all you need to know as far as instructions. So basically, you can take the diagrams and you can learn these chords. So this is what the C is going to look like. I won't spend a lot of time here. Here's the C. Look at the diagrams if you have questions. The D minor. Well, I should play this too. Okay, so here's the C. Let's see if I can get this to be a little bit easier. Here's the C. That's what it sounds like. That's what it looks like. D minor. Play each of these until they're easy. E minor. F major. Now, I'm going to start with this because that's what's written on the sheet. As an abbreviated version of that, you need a root, a third, and a fifth. That is you don't have to remember that. Root, third, and fifth is an F, an A, and a C. So if you start here with the C chord, you take these two fingers and move down one string towards the floor. Right here, and then right here. And then I'm only going to play those strings. That's my F chord. It will work so that until your fingers are strong enough to do this full F, you can do this, or you can do this, or you can do this, or you can do this. Just make sure you have an F note, an A note, and a C note. And again, you don't have to remember that. Just remember that this shape will substitute. So there's my F. So now I have C, D minor, E minor, F major, or F. Then I have a G. This one I have, some people don't do this. I have it for just beginning students. This is how I'm playing it, and I'm not using my third finger. The reason is because for some people, especially younger people with smaller hands, this can be a big stretch right here. So sometimes it's easier to do this to begin with. Not necessary, but you can do it. Or if this is easy, it works too. So now we have C, D minor, E minor, F, G major, A minor. For the A minor, go back to a C. Take this finger, my third finger. I'm going to take my third finger and I'm going to move it from this note on the fifth string to the second fret of the third string. That's my A minor. So it's good to practice C, A minor. Okay, so far we have C, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor. The next chord is probably needs a bit of a warning because if you play it correctly, it's not going to sound, let's see, it'll sound dissonant. I don't want to say it sounds bad. Some people would say it sounds bad. I think it sounds good if it's played in context. So it looks like this. Now that's a big hefty stretch. So another way of doing this is just playing your B, your F, and your D. Just play those all by themselves. You can also do a substitute where you're playing with your first finger here and you want this note to be clear and the note on the third string to be clear. So, and then put your finger here and here. This is a fast one to get to. I use it a lot if I'm going so that's your B. And in the end, you would like to be able to do this if possible. And then from there, you do not want to end on this because it's a very dissonant chord. And of course, it sounds nice for soundtrack type stuff or for creating tension. But if you end on that, it's not going to feel real good. So then you would go da, da. Okay, so all of these together. And I would always start with the C. And that, again, it helps with context. C, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, or, and then C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then as far as shortcutting some of these if necessary until your fingers are strong, what you want to have in every chord is a root, a third, and a fifth. So if you look in the diagram, as long as you have a root, third, and fifth, and those tones are clear, the chord will technically work. So if I need to, I can just grab these three notes, C, E, and a G. That would be my C chord. But then if I want a fuller sound, I might go da, da. Then I could even take this note right here is also a G, and that can sound kind of cool as well. The open big string also technically works here, but because of the interval, it doesn't sound very nice and relaxed. So I would avoid the big string unless you're using the G. Anyway, so again, here's what we have. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Da, 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 da. So on a short practice, say you have 30 seconds to practice, play all of the chords in the key in order that you can fit into 30 seconds. So for me, I can go pretty fast and go. So I might be able to get through that a few times if I wanted to. And then I would go to the next key, which is G. So I might go. Keep going until I run out of time. So basically the idea is if you have 30 seconds, you can still totally practice this. And if you don't know the C chord yet, spend that 30 seconds figuring out how to play the C chord, and that's it. And then once you can do that, play the C and then go to the D minor. So it's really kind of fun. If you dig into this, you can actually you can get to the point where it doesn't take very much time at all to get pretty darn good at the guitar, and that can be very fun. So I hope this is helpful. Again, if you do not have the sheets for this, they will be not essential. I mean, you can learn this stuff just by ear, but it really helps to be able to see the diagrams and see the music theory that goes along with it. And that's it. If you have questions about this, email me or text me. Thank you. Bye.